In this video, we're going to be talking about yet another significant severe weather setup and even more setups later down the line that could cause more severe weather into early May. Let's go right ahead and dive on into today's video. Starting out here with the 500 millibar wind speeds on the GFS model. You're not going to be able to see this too well on the GFS model because it's not a cam model and there really isn't any big trough for this upcoming significant threat. So you can see this on Tuesday, April 30th. We're going to have a bit of kind of an elongated neutral trough. I guess that's what this kind of is here. And it's going to have an embedded shortwave, and that's what's going to cause our severe weather on Tuesday into Tuesday night. Then as we go on into Wednesday, we could have more widespread severe weather, and this is the day that could be significant with, according to the SPC, the potential of a significant tornado being a possibility out there towards Kansas and Oklahoma. We'll look at their outlook in just a bit. And then you can see, once again, it's kind of the same ordeal with elongated area of jet stream here and that trough projection with an embedded shortwave over Kansas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska. Then as we go into Thursday, we could see even another severe event, and if that does occur, it would probably be generally out in that area. We'll take a look at the supercell composite to determine how many ingredients and what ingredients we have here in just a moment for Thursday. Then Friday, we should start to quiet down a little bit, but we're going to get another shortwave here Friday night into Saturday. I don't expect that to cause much severe weather. Then we're going to be keeping a very close eye on a positively tilted trough out here towards just west of the Four Corners on Sunday night. Moving into Monday, that's going to traverse into the Rockies, and then Monday night into Tuesday morning, we could have yet another significant severe and a severe weather threat out there into the plains, and that's actually going to push up to the northeast on Tuesday, and that could actually transition into portions of the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley as well as the Midwest on May 8th, which is going to be Tuesday into Wednesday there. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. And even into Thursday, May 9th, we could still see an isolated severe weather threat there as well. And then as we go into Friday, this stuff gets too far out, so we're not going to talk anything about that. Here's the mean supercell composite on the GFS ensemble, commonly known as the GEFS, for Tuesday, which is April 30th, 2024. You can see we are going to have a widespread region of favorable ingredients for the potential of severe weather. And then as we go into Wednesday, that pushes off just a bit off to the southwest. And again, the SPC says the potential for a strong tornado on Wednesday into Thursday morning. Then we move into Friday. And like I said, we could see a bit of severe weather as we go into Friday, but it doesn't really look like anything notable. So that is the good news. And same goes for Saturday into Sunday, and as well as into Monday, we start to see severe weather out here into the plains, like I just said just a moment ago. And then Tuesday, that moves into, like I said, portions of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, and even into the deep south. And Thursday, it explodes out there into portions of Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, as well as Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. Before we dive on into the rest of today's video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you know when I go live or upload a video, as well as share this video with your family, friends, and on social media to help spread weather awareness. Let's go ahead and dive right into the rest of today's video. So here's the day one official outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. We do have a small 2% chance for tornadoes up there in Michigan. That is over. So you're watching this video, that threat is already concluded. And we'll just be watching out here into Texas for the threat of an isolated severe storm later on today for wind and or hail, possibly even both. And again, the one out there in Mississippi actually has also concluded. So this is no longer ongoing, as well as this area. So we're really just watching this region here for tonight, which should just be isolated small to possibly large hail and an isolated damaging wind gust threat. Then as we move into tomorrow, which is the 30th, we've got a large 5 and 2% chance for tornadoes. You already know we'll be live covering this. And matter of fact, we'll be doing a live weather briefing 1 hour after this video goes up at 5:50 Eastern. So at 5:50 Eastern, we will be live on this channel. Again, 5% chance for tornadoes tomorrow. That's actually also a 15 significant wind threat and a 15 significant hail threat. We'll look at the CAM models, high resolution models for these threats in just a moment after we go into the day 3 outlook from the SPC. So here's the day 3 outlook from the SPC. You can see that large slight risk for severe weather. It actually does have a 15 hatched area for the potential of 2-inch hail, 70-mile-an-hour winds, and even the threat for a strong tornado out there in portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, as well as Texas. And once again, they do say the potential for a strong tornado. You can see that right there, including the potential for a strong tornado, which this is again for May 1st. Now let's go ahead and dive on into the most accurate model run, which is the HRRR model run. We'll go ahead and pull this all the way out here till Tuesday night, which is tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. And you'll see, actually by about 4 p.m., we start to see some supercells fire out here in portions of South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska. That eventually moves eastward here into portions of central Iowa. And then by the time we go towards 7 p.m., we start to see additional storms develop out here in Nebraska, Missouri, as well as into Kansas. And of course, those storms still ongoing there in Iowa. And again, as we go into the night hours, these explode into severe storms. And this should be generally an all-night threat for Kansas. For Iowa, it will probably start decreasing about 11 o'clock midnight Eastern. But this will pose the threat for all hazards, including extremely large hail, which could be near 3-inch in diameter, as well as damaging winds around 70 miles per hour. And even the threat for multiple tornadoes. I wouldn't be too shocked to see them talk about the potential of a brief, strong tornado with this threat as well, again, for tomorrow, April 30th. So we can't look too much into Wednesday because it's just a little bit far out, but here it is at 7 o'clock Central Time on a lower resolution and a bit less accurate of a model run. And you can see supercells would most likely start firing up in this general area as we go towards 7, 8 o'clock Central out there in Kansas, Nebraska, and Oklahoma. We can't go any further out than this, but it still gives you an idea that storms should fire right along this general vicinity here. And let's go ahead and look at our dry line because that is going to be extremely sharp. So here's your dry line for tomorrow afternoon. It's not nearly as significant as the one on Wednesday, which is why they're already calling for a more significant episode on Wednesday, May 1st. So not as sharp of a dry line out here. I can barely even make out where that dry line's located for Tuesday. So nothing too impressive at all. But if we go on into Wednesday, it will become a very impressive dry line. We'll go ahead and shift down here a little bit further to the south so you can see all this ridiculous moisture return. And this might be the most moisture return we have seen in 2024 in a very long time, and probably in most of the year that we've seen so far. I mean, I don't recall a severe threat having low 70s into southern Kansas. We'll see if that actually occurs, because this model typically does overdo the dew points and sometimes even the temperatures as well. So it's not set in stone that we will see 70s into Kansas, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see very high 60s into the low, maybe even mid 70s in portions of Texas, Oklahoma, and southern Kansas. So here's the excessive rainfall outlook for today. We've got the threat for isolated flash flooding in that green and especially in that yellow area. Just make sure you have a way to seek higher ground if you're in a flash flood prone area, because that could cause the potential for some flash flooding out there in Tennessee. Now let's go into tomorrow. That flood threat, of course, is not nearly as high. And then as we go into day 3, you can see that widespread slight risk for excessive rainfall, which most likely means we're going to see some thunderstorms fire off just to the west of that slight risk for excessive rainfall as we go into May 1st. And then into May 2nd, that continues eastward. We're not really looking at a substantial severe threat just yet for Thursday, May 2nd, but I wouldn't be surprised if we end up talking about it later down the line. And then day 5, that shrinks into the Gulf Coast line. It doesn't really become much more of an issue. Here's the Climate Prediction Center for May 5th through May 9th, and you can see a very large area of above average temperatures out here towards the plains in the deep south, and you can barely see it. I'll go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see it much easier here. We've got blue out here. Now, this doesn't have like a classic look to severe weather to it. Typically, we'll see like a dark blue out here, and then red all in the plains if we want like a classic temperature outlook for what severe weather may end up being. But right now, I mean, we just have a lot of blue in the west and a big area of red in the east. So this will probably cause the issue for some severe weather. The magnitude of it is still a question mark, as the SPC says uncertainty is way too high to add any areas for severe weather for the day 6 through 8 outlook, but they'll probably start considering adding that shortly to add a 15% chance again anywhere between the day 6 and day 8 outlook. So I will keep you all posted on that. All right, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys later on in today's live stream, or eventually in another live stream whenever I'm live next. Make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. That way you know when I go live or upload a video. And share this video with family, friends, and on social media. Hit that like button as well to help spread weather awareness. Hopefully you guys had a great day, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, watch severe weather. Goodbye.